Me is Queen Osset Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Okay, guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it on to someone else who's wondering about this. Now, today is my last video. I'm only going to do one video because this is my last video until July 1st. I'm going on vacation tomorrow and I got a million things I got to do today. Like a million. I promised my friend I would do a reading. I still have to go out and go to the store. Some things I need to take on the trip. So I only have time to do one short video. And someone asked me a question that I thought was a really good question. So I took her question and I'm going to answer it now. This is a woman who is an Aquarius and she's dating a Cancer guy. Now, everybody knows that I'm not particularly fond of the Aquarius Cancer vibration. Voldemort was a Cancer, and I'm an Aquarius, and it was the worst relationship I've ever had in my life, and it damaged me for a long time. But it was good because the damage caused me to become a better person. So I could never regret or want to take it back per se, but it was difficult. And I'm just now really healing from it, like really being done with it and okay with it. It took me years. That situation happened like 13, 14 years ago. So it took me a long time to undo all of the damage that I acquired during that relationship. So Cancer and Aquarius, it's not so much that I tell people no, because I never say no to any sun sign, but you have to have a positive Cancer. If it's a good person, and I mean a good person, but the problem with Cancer is that they are very good at hiding their true self and their true intentions. They wear a mask very well. So you never know if you have a good person or if you have somebody who's pretending to be a good person until it's too late. So the first question I always have is that. So she said that her main problem wasn't his sun sign, though. This is her problem. Her problem is that they've been seeing each other. They've gone on a few dates. And she feels like she's the one who has to be the man in the relationship. She takes the relationship. She takes the initiative in the relationship. She's the one that plans the dates. She's the one who makes it happen. And he just kind of passively goes along with whatever is happening. He pays for everything. And he's a gentleman, though. Those are things I really do like. And a lot of Cancer men do fake that gentleman thing very well. They either are really gentlemen or they fake it really well, one or the other. So I do like those things. I love a man who pays for everything. To me, I'm old fashioned. That's the way it's supposed to be on a date. Some people go Dutch now and do all kinds of other things, but I'm not going. I ain't going on that kind of date. So I like the fact that he is generous. I like the fact that he is a gentleman. Does it bother me that he doesn't take the initiative in the dates? Not really. And see, that's the thing that for me, that's something that's less of an issue. See, this is the question. How do you feel about that? You obviously don't like it because that's why you asked the question. But my thing is, can you live with it? Because he said that's just how he is. He's not really good at that kind of thing. He may try to make some efforts. If he really does like you, he will try to make some efforts. But if that bothers you, then this is a relationship that's going to really aggravate you. And I know a lot of women who are in relationships with Cancer men, and they've told me exactly the same thing. One woman I know married a Cancer man. They had children together, grandchildren together, lived together. It's like 30 years later, and she had a emotional breakdown for something unrelated. Actually, it wasn't his fault. But one of the things that came out during her therapy was that he never takes the initiative. He never defends her, she says. Like when people attack her in the family, he never defends her. And when it's time to do anything, she's the one who has to be the man. She has to take the initiative to do things. She's the one that has to step up. She even called him a wimp on certain occasions. And she left him. She left him, went through a whole emotional thing, started seeing a therapist. All this stuff happened. Months and months and months of this. I think she came back home. The last time I spoke to her, she had come back home. So my thing is that if that's something that really, really bothers you, I wouldn't get serious with this man because that's just how some of them are. Some of them are that way. Some of them are not. Voldemort wasn't like that. Voldemort did take the initiative. But like I said, based on conversations with people with other cancer men, some of them don't. It really depends on the guy. And you have one of those guys who that's just not one of his strengths. So if that really bothers you, if it really bothers you that he doesn't plan a date, it really bothers you that you have to take the initiative to do everything, it really bothers you in those ways, then that means that this is not somebody for you to get serious with because that's not going to stop. If you don't like something about a person when you first meet them, don't get serious about them because that's generally people do change, people do grow, people do evolve. But I would not bank on, okay, he'll change. He may get better at this. I wouldn't bank on that because that's a gamble. He might and he might not. So if that's something that really, really bothers you, then you need to pick another gentleman because that's something that more than likely is not going to change. Now, if it's something that you really don't mind and you feel like, you know what, this isn't that bad. He's a nice guy. He pays for everything. He's a real gentleman. And if I got to plan the dates or do these kind of things, fine, then I'll do it. If it doesn't really bother you, then you can continue getting to know him. It's really, you have to tell me, you have to soul search and say, where are you with this? Does it really bother you enough that it's a deal breaker? If this is one of your deal breakers, then I absolutely would not continue to see him. I would just stop it right now and move on and start to see somebody else. Because remember, Aquarius and Cancer have enough problems trying to make a relationship work in the first place. So you don't need to have stuff popping up in the first 3 dates. That's already annoying. Another thing, if I were you, I would go to astro.com. I would get his birth information, his birth date, his birthplace, and his birth hour. And I would do a compatibility report between the two of you to see if you guys have a potential as a couple. No use getting, I would do this personally with anybody, really. Whenever I meet a woman and I really like her, I automatically do our compatibility chart to see, is there any potential? I do our compatibility chart and then I do our cards to see what potential we have, and then I do the cards to see how to deal with the pitfalls that we may fall into. So I would recommend that, especially with a Cancer, because you already know, like I said before, this is a difficult vibration to make work. I do know some Aquarius Cancer couples that I have met since doing Ask an Aquarius over the past couple years. And they're okay. The ones that, like I said before, the ones that have a man and a woman, or some of them are same-sex couples. So the ones who have a Cancer who is really a sincere individual and not just playing at it. In those cases, there's a good relationship. There's a real strong vibration between the Aquarius and the Cancer. Because remember, Cancer is a water sign. Aquarius is air, but we are the water bearer. There is oxygen in air. I mean, oxygen in air. There is oxygen in water. So these two vibrations have a weird relationship because there is a lot of understanding between these two. These two have a psychic bond. And it's a very strong one, but it's one that I never recommend somebody start unless the Cancer and the Aquarius are both in a good high vibrational space. If you're dealing with a low vibrational Aquarius or a low vibrational Cancer, this is going to be a really difficult relationship and probably a really bad one for them both, for one of them or both of them. So be really careful with that energy. But like I said before, anything can work depending on the signs, depending on the chart, depending on their level of sincerity, anything can work. So if I were you, that's what I would do. I would look at our charts and I would soul search inside of myself to see how big of a deal is this to you really. And if it's a big deal, then I wouldn't keep on seeing him. Now, if you want to ask me, if it was me, I wouldn't have a problem with this. I would have no problem taking the initiative because I'm Aquarius like you are, and we're kind of leaders anyway. I know we don't always want to lead. It's nice to, sometimes have somebody else take the lead and let us kind of fall back. But I am a pretty dominant personality. When I date a woman, I'm technically more aggressive. In most cases, I'm more aggressive than her. So I'm usually the one that sets the dates and decides what we're going to do and where we're going to go and stuff like that. That's usually what I do. So for me, it wouldn't really be a big deal. And if he made an effort to do it sometimes, that would be enough to satisfy me. So in your case, you have to ask yourself, is this one of your deal breakers? If he promises to make an effort, will that be enough for you? If he doesn't do it at all, will that bother you in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, or tomorrow even? Those are the questions you want to ask yourself. Because like I said before, I'm the kind of person who would be less bothered by that. I would be more concerned with the fact that he's a Cancer. Seriously, that would be my concern. I would be more concerned with that. I would be more concerned with the fact that he's a Cancer. I'd be looking at them charts, looking at them cards. I would be more on that. Him not taking initiative really wouldn't bother me, especially if he's paying for everything and being a gentleman. For me, in a date, that's all he really got to do. I'll decide where we have to go. I'll decide what we eat. I'll decide all of that kind of stuff. I'll, plan our trips. I'll plan our wedding. I'll plan everything as long as he's paying for it and showing up and being involved. I have no problems with that. But like I said, everybody is different. And you sound to me like you want him to be more involved than just that, than just showing up. Like you want him to be part of the planning process. And he sounds like that's not his twist. So are you going to be okay with that is the question. If not, move on. If you can deal with it and it's going to be okay and you can make compromises on it, fine. And then, like I said before, look and see what other issues may be present between your vibration. Okay? I hope that helps. Thank you so much for your question. I really appreciated it. All right, guys, I am out of here. You will see me on July 1st with the new season of Ask an Aquarius. So while I'm gone, take a look at the videos you haven't seen. I have like 700 videos, so you might have missed some of them. So check out some of the ones that you may have missed. Likewise, if you want to send me ideas for Asking Aquarius, like questions about Aquarius or questions about spirituality, questions about relationships, any of those kind of things, please feel free to email them to me. When I come back from vacation, I'll be looking through to see what am I going to start with for the next season. It's been great being here with you. Thank you all for your support. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. And I guess that's pretty much it. I'm going to miss you guys. I look forward to talking to you guys every day. So I'm really going to miss you. And I'll see you guys on July 1st, okay? If you would like to send me a love donation so I can have some more money to spend at the Wizarding World, that would be really appreciated. I'll leave my PayPal. If you would like to get a reading done, please feel free to email me anyway, because I'm still going to be giving out appointments while I'm on vacation. I will have my phone with me. I'll have my laptop with me, so I'll be able to still do appointments. Likewise, let me see. If you would like to become one of my patrons, underneath here is going to be all that information, okay? All right, guys. Wish me good travel blessings. I'm going to Orlando, Florida for my vacation. And again, if you are in or around Orlando, on June 25th, I'm going to be at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. So if you would like to meet up with me, hit me up on social media or email me, and I'll tell you exactly where I'm at, and we can sit down and have a butterbeer together. Okay, guys? See you later.